Hi and welcome to another beer garden where I'm joined by Joshua and Charene. No Joe this time, but I'm sure we can latch onto a few winners with our combined brains. It's an interesting card. Charene, what did you make of last Charene with Beauty Eternal? A bit of a shock that was, wasn't it? But he had a terrible run.
Yeah, that was really shocked because Beauty Eternal didn't get a clear one in the home straight, especially. But however, when he finds some space, the horse just can chase really well. So I think ending up running third in that race, just beaten by a short margin, I still think that Beauty Eternal is still worth for following because I believe in the coming races he is still able to win again, especially when Zach Porter will be still riding on board this lovely horse. He is definitely talented because you know how he won on his debut. That was really, really impressive. So just give him one more chance, that's racing.
I certainly think so. Joshua, it was agony, wasn't it, for favourite backers?
Oh, you're making me relive this. Hey?
Yes.
Yeah, it was terrible. You can look me right in the eye right now and say my horse should have beat yours, but no, that's okay.
Yes.
It's what happens, and that's racing, isn't it? So, yeah, he's definitely got some talent. You can see that there. You're just going to need the luck in running. I think it was the right move by Purton to take the corner. As I've watched a few other podcasts like the Triple Trio with Hutchie and whatnot, and Shane Dye's big on cutting the corner. Don't go around them because you're going to give yourself a disadvantage. Cutting the corner and riding for luck. And Zach did, and unfortunately it just didn't pay off. But next time.
Exactly. It's one of these things, wasn't it? It was the right thing to do, but you can't be a helicopter and jump over the other horse or hover over it. And when I was retweeting the fact that I had a winner, I did feel a bit of a fraud because
no, you take them when you get them, I suppose.
Take them when I get them because they don't come that often. Right, this is the 9-race card at Happy Valley, where we have our usual. We pick the last 3 races of the treble trio, races 7, 8, and 9, and we also have our favourite part of the show, the best bet, and also our value bet. Well, it really ends with if you like speedsters, if you like sprints, then you'll certainly enjoy the last 3 races. We have races 7, 8, and 9, and 7 is the best quality. It's a very interesting Class 2 over the 1,000 metres, culminates in a 1,200 metre race as well. But we'll start with race 7. And Joshua, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, this is quite an interesting race. I think I did tweet out earlier in the week that I thought WizKid was definite unders at the price that come up in Hong Kong. I think it was about $3, the high $2. I thought there's a lot of value around it, and I really like seizing the moment in this race. I think this is a really good way to start our treble race, and he's going to be my value bet of the night. First up, he was immaculate, considering he began only fairly, was pushed along early, and looked to have the race in his hands when he was cut out at the 200-metre mark before hitting his straps late. I do concede 1,000 metres isn't really his pet distance, but he faces a suitable race here that should provide plenty of speed to camp off. Obviously, WizKid and Classic Unicorn providing some much needed pace. I am a touch concerned that Borges is off him, but nonetheless, I think he's going to get a nice run. He's drawn nicely. He does go up to Class 2, which is quite interesting, but he drops in weight, and that's always a positive. With no weight on his back, he should be a real life chance towards the end of this race. And as I said, I think WizKid's a bit unders, should be a bit longer. If it drifts to a better price, it might be worth a bet, but I can't take WizKid first up at this stage. So I'm leaning the way of seizing the moment.
Okay, Joshua goes for number 10, seizing the moment, which is also his value bet. Charene, do you like WizKid a little more?
Yes, I do, because when I look at the card, because only there are a few of 10, however, there are so many fast horses, so I'm quite sure that there will be plenty of pace in this race, because we have my choice, WizKid number 5, and also Classic Unicorn, and also Harmony and Reach, Read the South, Pink High Galaxy. Nearly half of the field are fast horses, so let's guess who will be leading. But WizKid with Zach Porton on board, I'm really confident on him because he used to be a very consistent fast horse. Last time he raced over the straight course at Charene, it was a bit difficult, a bit challenging for him. But this time moving back to Happy Valley, where he is the it is his favorite circuit. So also 1,000 meters is also suitable for him. And this horse, after the summer break, we see that he is now getting much more muscle. He's now very strong. So if he can lead and then get a rail under Zach Purton, I believe he is having the best chance among some fast horses here, because he is quite strong, and then I believe he is able to keep till the end. So number 5, Wizkid for me in race 7.
So Charene goes for number 5, Wizkid, and I went for number 6, Rock Your Heart. I was really very confident about this horse. I was almost making him my best bet, a bit of maybe a speculative best bet in such a competitive race. But I really like his chance. Both wins have been achieved over the 1,200 meters, but he picked up the silver. He was second tier 3 starts back over course and distance, staying on really well. And both runs this season have been very respectable. They've been quite deep races. He was 5th and 9th, but I think these were good runs. And he doesn't have to worry about meeting a Fantastic this time, because he's beaten by a Fantastic Treasure, a Fantastic Way. And I really do think there's a decent pot to be won with Rock Your Heart. Gate 3 is a very positive good place to be birthed, and he's also under Vincent Ho, which looks a sign of intent because the rider was successful on him last year. And as Joshua says, Wizkid a bit maybe a bit short in the prices, and also a sort of middling draw, but definitely a great chance, Charene. So I think between our selections, I think we hopefully will have it covered. So just to recap, race number 7, Joshua goes for number 10, Seizing the Moment. Charene goes for number 5, Wizkid, and I will go for number 6, Rock Your Heart. So we go to race number 8, and one's a bit unusual actually to have the 1,000 meters on the back of another 1,000 meters. This is the Seymour Handicap. It's a class 3, so still a decent race, and it's over the 1,000 meters. Who do you like in this one, Joshua?
Yeah, it was good that you mentioned about all our picks. I believe we tipped the top 4 in that race where the favourite got rolled on the weekend that we were talking about, Beauty Eternal. But race 8 here, I like 2. I'll mention the first one, Heroic Master. I think is a really good bet here. I was really impressed with his Hong Kong debut a month ago. He drew 7-7 on the night, was steady from that wide gate, and he did a few things wrong early and between the early and middle stages. And then he was racing wide without cover for the majority of the race. He also laid out under pressure in the straight, but still managed to run some solid time when running third to Pinghai Galaxy. And the bet that I have in the 7th, Seizing the Moment. He gets an ideal draw here, gets Purton aboard, which are 2 massive ticks, especially here at Happy Valley. He's going to get a much softer run throughout, and he has plenty of upside. I just think he's the one to be with at the moment. I just don't want him too short in the market. I'm just going to check. He's 240 at the moment. Look, I wouldn't want to go too much shorter than that. But the other one I didn't mind was High Rise Soldier. He's big odds. He was $28 yesterday. He's into 18s on the Hong Kong tote. He's drawn well. He ran some nice sectionals when 2 lengths back in 6 behind Yo Beauty. I think he's a real sneaky place chance down in the weights. But Heroic Master will be the one that I'm going to lean with here in the 8th.
Okay, so Joshua in race number 8 goes for number 5, Heroic Master. Also has an eye on number 12, High Rise Soldier, an interesting horse too. Charene, who do you like in race number 8?
Yeah, this race I will also go for number 5, Heroic Master, because it is quite an interesting race. Race 8 is class 3 over the 1,000 meters, because last Wednesday we canceled the meeting because of the typhoon. However, the 12 horses are exactly the same this Wednesday, but all the horses get a new draw, but Heroic Master is lucky enough to have a better draw, because last Wednesday he was drawn gate number 6, but this time better draw for him, gate number 3. He's really lucky enough, and I believe he can definitely take advantage of this good draw, because before coming to Hong Kong, he is unbeaten, winning 2 from 2 in Australia. And on his debuts in Hong Kong, he stayed wide without cover for the whole trip, but still managed to finish 3rd over the same course and distance. So I think he's quite a Happy Valley specialist. So this time lucky enough to get a better draw also with Zach Purton on board. I think he's really strong, really competitive in this race. So he will also be my best bet. So number 5, Heroic Master for me.
So the best bet for Charene, agreeing with Joshua, number 5, Heroic Master. Well, I went for number 8, Sergeant Pepper. Do you know, I must be allergic to picking the obvious horse sometimes, and probably why I've got a 23-year-old car. But it's just, I just probably wasn't 100% sure about Heroic Master. He made such an eye-catching debut for Frankie Law, and I mean, there's every chance he will just go 2 better this time. I wouldn't be at all surprised. But I just thought Sergeant Pepper is such a nice horse. It's the usual musical chairs, isn't it, that we have here, that Derek Lung was on board Heroic Master. Now he switches to Sergeant Pepper, and now Zach Burton rides Heroic Master. But Sergeant Pepper in fantastic form. He's really had a good string of consistency. And he's also drawn in gate number 5. And he was agonizingly nabbed last month when nabbed on the line by Gold Baby, who looks like a pretty decent horse. A £2 rise puts him on a career mark, but he's handily drawn, and Derek Long, who's won on the horse, gets a good tune out of him. And I always think in Britain, whenever I see a horse going up, gradually going up the weights for being beaten, it's always enough to put me off. But I think it's a whole different sort of spectre of racing in Hong Kong. It doesn't put me off at all. So although he's gone up £2, it's not ideal. But I just think Sergeant Pepper's on the improve, and he has a very good chance. So just to recap, Charene and Joshua both go for number 5, Heroic Master, and probably win. But what can you do? And I will go for number 8, Sergeant Pepper, and maybe hope that Heroic Master has a beauty eternal and gets trouble in running or something. So maybe that will happen. Anyway, moving on. Race number 9, the finale. It's a Class 3, again a good race, over 200 metres more. It's the Taiping Shan Handicap. And Joshua, who are you going for here?
Yeah, I landed with number 2, 5 Elements. I went with him last time, I'm pretty sure. He was decent first up after bleeding last season. He ran a solid 1.5 length third to Beauty Glory and Igniting before running 2.3 lengths second to Street Scream last time out. And we know how well that horse has gone. Both Street Scream and Trader come out of that race and have won nicely. He comes into this race third up and gets Chadwick back aboard, which is fair. But he has drawn a nice gate, which is the key here. So he should be his consistent self and be around the finish once again. Yeah, he's run top 3 in over 50% of his runs, 2 of those being wins. So it's just a matter of whether he's ready for the class rise or not with the big weight. But I think he gets a better run here, and some of his gets a better run than some of his key rivals here. He should be thereabouts once again. Just double check. He's come in since I last checked. He's $4.10 at the moment. Again, he's a horse that you don't want to jump into too short, because although he's consistent, he's not a consistent winner. He's always thereabouts. So number 2, 5 Elements for me in the last.
So Joshua goes for number 2, 5 Elements in the lucky last. Charene, who do you like in race number 9?
Yeah, in this race, I'm with number 12, Global Harmony, carrying the lightweight. I remember that last season, at the end of last season, in June and July, when he made his first 2 starts in Hong Kong, I mentioned this horse in the show because he's quite talented. He has good form in Australia and some good track work performance in Hong Kong. However, he was both beaten. So this time, moving to Happy Valley may be a different case, because last 2 starts he was beaten at Charene, and also at that time he was still a 3-year-old, so maybe he just needed some time to adapt, to settle to a new environment. But yes, after the summer break, he is getting better, because recently he just won a barrier trial at Happy Valley on November 14th under Lau Hewison. So this time Lau Hewison takes the ride, and gate 6 is also quite ideal for him. So I believe that Global Harmony, if he jumps well, just like his barrier trial performance, he can stay in the midfield with some cover. So that would be a nice place for him. There are also some speed in the final race, so maybe it will be also favorable for Global Harmony. So hopefully turning 4-year-old in this season, and also a lightweight in this race, he is also able to have some good performance. So number 12, Global Harmony for me in race 9.
Okay, Global Harmony for Charene under the excellent Lyle Hewitson. Be nice to see him get on the board. Well, I have to agree with Joshua. I went for number 2, 5 Elements as well. Not much more to add, really, than Joshua's already mentioned. I just think he's a nice horse. He's been placed 4 out of his last 6, reunited with Matthew Chadwick. He has a very good draw in gate number 2, and you just think he's due a win. He's due reward for his consistency. Of course, the last time we had Solar Winds hot on his tail, he was back in third, and he's more lightly raced, so we'd expect more to come from Solar Winds. But I just thought that in the last race, 5 Elements seemed to travel better than that one, and I just wanted to just stay loyal to 5 Elements. I think he has a very good chance. So just to recap, Joshua and I are in agreement, which is always encouraging, and that's number 2, 5 Elements. And Charene goes for the bottom weight under Lyle Hewitson, and that's Global Harmony. Right, we've taken care of the treble trio. Now it's on to our best bets. Joshua, who do you like as your best bet on the night?
Yeah, I went a little bit different here. I'll refresh the odds. I went with race 4, number 12, Island Surprise, who's rising up from Class 4, following 2 consistent displays in Class 5. First up with Zach Purton aboard, he ran a tight second to Fortune Hero in a race that's produced 3 winners and 7 placings since, before again running a tight third to Sunny and Gold and Hardy Wish, which is another race that has produced another winner and 3 placings. He had an excuse last night. He did race tight for room and was galloped on at the 950-metre mark, which is going to throw any horse off. He raced in Class 4 before, and he wasn't far away. Plus, he gets a good draw here. He maps well, and he gets the inform jockey in Sylvester D'Souza due to the 8-kilo weight drop. D'Souza is not only is he riding well, when he rides at 53 or below, he's got a 30% strike rate, winning 4 of his last 13 rides. Which is tremendous. I think he's going to be around the finish once again, all in all, and I think we might get a decent price. I've just had a look. He's $6.20 at the moment, so yeah, he's drifted since when I did the form. So he is a nice price. I think he's going to be around the mark, up in class, down in weight, and Sylvester D'Souza to give him a peach ride. And it's race 4, number 12, Island Surprise.
There we go, Joshua. Race 4, number 12, Island Surprise. A nice price too, and that makes a very good case for that one. Charene, do you want to remind us who your best bet is on the night?
Yeah, sure. My best bet for the night will be number 5, Heroic Master in race 8. I think that this time ridden by Zach Purton with a better draw, there is a huge chance for him to perform well. He is lightly raced, still unexposed, 4-year-old. I still fancy on him on his second start in Hong Kong. And also in race 8, I believe after breaking from gate 3, he can stay in front or just next to the leader. So hopefully he can win on his second start in Hong Kong. So number 5, Heroic Master by Zach Purton in race 8, sorry.
Race 8 for Charene, number 5, Heroic Master. Very good chance there. Well, I was tempted to go to race 7, Rock Your Heart as my best bet, but I always like, if I can, to try and have 5 selections on the night just to give value for money. And I went to race number 3, which possibly isn't the most brilliant best bet, but it's the British Handicap, a Class 4 over the 1650 metres. And I went for the very frustrating Blissful Star, who's winless after 12 starts. He's not a fantastic price either, but I do think he can finally get on the board. Jimmy Ting, 5-year-old, he's never finished worse than 5th in his 12 starts. He made the frame. He's made the frame 6 times, and he's been placed on both his appearances this season, the 1400 metres at Charene. But I think arguably this 1650 round the city circuit suits him best. He's from gate 1. Zach Purton keeps the faith, and I just think that he will fall in sooner or later. And I think sometimes when a horse is hitting the crossbar, you end up dismissing it, and then all of a sudden they actually, if you keep with them, they do. And he's doing very little wrong. And let's not forget, he did chase home the unbeaten Sweet Encounter. It's very close. He wasn't far behind that horse. I mean, it was almost like a photo finish for all that Sweet Encounter won quite closely. But he was fighting all the way to the line. And from gate 1, scraping the paint, I really think that Blissful Star should run very well. So just to recap on our best bets, and that is, we have the best bet for Joshua is race number 4, number 12, Island Surprise. Charene goes back to race 8, and that's 5, Heroic Master. And I'll go to the best bet, race number 3 and 4, Blissful Star. Just before I move on to the value bet, that's a very snazzy cat shirt, Joshua.
Yes, it's Nice little party shirt, isn't it? You got a
Yes, it's like happy fat cat there, I think.
anyway. Beer garden. It's a beer garden shirt for sure.
Yes, indeed. Right, let's go to the value. Who do you like as your value selection? I think we've already heard it, but if you'd like to recap, Joshua.
Yeah, race 7, number 10, Seizing the Moment. I just think he's going to get a good run from a nice draw, up in class, down in weight. As I said, 1,000 metres probably isn't ideal for him, but he's going to get the pace up in front. And with no weight, I think he can really hit the line nicely. Should have won last start, but was cut out at a crucial time. So I think he's a big chance of going close once again at around that $8.50, $2.80 a place mark. So he's my value bet for the night. Race 7, number 10, Seizing the Moment.
A nice price for Joshua. Race number 7, Seizing the Moment, number 10 on the race card. Charene, who do you like as your value bet? We've not mentioned it yet.
Yes, my value bet on today will be in the opener. I quite like race 1, number 2, Quorum. If you check his form, he's nothing from 9, but as a 4-year-old in a class 5 race, I tend to give him some chances because I think that he is still improving. Because last start when he first time raced in a class 5, although he didn't break well from the wide draw at Charene over 1,400 meters. However, when he gets the rail and in the home stretch, he did not have a clear one, but he was just beaten not very far. So it was not a really bad one. So this time moving to the city circuit, maybe a tighter track, the shorter home stretch is a better surface for him. As I just mentioned, that because he is just a 4-year-old, only have 9 attempts in Hong Kong, I will still give him chance because on the morning track work recently, I think he is now getting better, and also stepping up to 1650 meters will also be suitable for him. So I think he is a little bit competitive in class 5, and also this time not carrying a top weight, only carrying 131 pounds. So there is a better chance for him, and of course he is having quite a good value. So I will have an each way bet for number 2 Quorum in the first race. So it will also be my value bet.
Okay, and each way bet, value bet in race number 1, the opener for Charene, then number 2, Quorum. And my value bet will be race number 4. It's a class 4 over 1,200 meters. I thought Happy Soul. What's the odds? About 24 something, is it, Joshua? Have a quick
25 the win, 780 the place.
Yeah, hopefully.
wow.
I think he's a nice horse, Danny Shum. He's only had a handful of runs. He's fared badly with the draw. In 6 runs, he's never had a gate lower than 7. And in sprint races, that really isn't helping at all. On his last start, he endured a wide trip from gate 9. It was in complete contrast to Success Fighter in the race. And he saved ground, having been dropped in by Harry Bentley. My horse was in 9, and Success Fighter was in 10. But Alexei Bedell is reunited with my selection, Happy Soul. I just think he's a big price. And his 3 runs this season have been quite good for Danny Shum. He was 1 1/4 lengths, 6th behind our class act. He was 2 lengths off Sight Hero in 5th. And last time out, 4.5, the furthest he'd been beaten this season behind Melbourne Hall, 9th of 12 over course and distance. But as I say, he was gate 9. He was 3 wide for much of the trip. And I would like to think Alexei Bedell will drop him in this time, and he's a fantastic rider. So hopefully we can see Happy Soul being placed at very nice odds. So just to recap, that is our value bets. Race number 7 for Joshua, number 10, Seizing the Moment. Charene goes to the opener, and that is race number 1, and that is number 2, Quorum. And I'll go a nice speculative race 4 over the 1,200 meters, and that is Happy Soul. Forgotten the number of Happy Soul now. Let's have a quick
Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. Yeah. There you go. So we've done everything. We've looked at the 3 selects of triple trios, our best bets, value bets, and hopefully you can enjoy your day tomorrow, whatever you decide, whether you follow us or whether you follow your own logic. Just before we go, I'll quickly mention to Joshua, you'll be looking forward to a Saturday meeting at Charene, won't you? Not.
No, it's especially here in Australia with all the racing. Although the Spring Carnival's over, my hometown Newcastle has the $1 million Hunter race, which is on this Saturday. So yes, it's not handy over here, and the reason I don't like it so much is it actually takes the spotlight away from Hong Kong racing. On Sunday afternoon here in Australia, everyone loves the Hong Kong, watching and tuning into Hong Kong racing. Whereas on a Saturday, it just sort of gets thrown in the mix with everything else. So, yeah, and it's also it feels like a rush. It feels like a rush that you've got so much to do in such little time.
It does, and I mean, me being in Edinburgh in Scotland, the annoying thing is the declarations for Hong Kong racing normally come through about 1 a.m. my time. So as much as I would like to stay awake, I'm just fading by that time. When I wake up at 8 or 9 in the morning for work, I just can't get to it for about 15, 20 hours. It's really infuriating. And that's the reason if I ever have a bad day at the office, I blame the clock, the world clock. Anyway, thank you once again, Charene and Joshua.
Thank
And
you.
I'll see you again at the weekend for chatting.